Looking for cool toys like the ones seen in this review? You can shop thousands of action figures, statues, busts, replicas, costumes, graphic novels, and much more at Big Bad Toy Store. Just click the link in the description below this video. See a full gallery of images at JediInsider.com. Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch scale Luke Skywalker in X-Wing outfit. Series 1 of the first ever 6-inch scale Star Wars line has arrived, and kicking things off is a look at the star character of the original trilogy. Luke Skywalker comes in the new Black Series window box packaging. To fit along with that Black Series name, the entire box is done in a dark color scheme. It's all black with the wording and images all done in a gray color. The top of the box features a round image emblem of the figure that's within the box. The full window on the front fully showcases the Luke Skywalker action figure within. The back of that box gives us a description of the Luke Skywalker character, and underneath that is a silhouette-like image of the character from the films. Alright, so let's get a look at the figure outside of the packaging. As mentioned, this version of Luke is based on his appearance sporting his X-Wing uniform. He's wearing a bright orange jumpsuit with a white flight vest. The gloves and boots are all a nice glossy black. The paint job on the figure is really well done and pretty clean for the most part. I do have a bit of paint scuffing on his arms, however, right around his elbow joints, which does seem to reveal some black colored plastic underneath. But other than that, the paint is really great with some really nice painted details that are seen all around the figure, such as on the panel that's on his chest. Hasbro did a pretty great job at not skipping out on any of those painted details here. The sculpt and design is also very nice, with the wrinkles and folds in the uniform all looking very natural. The face sculpt on the figure is a pretty decent likeness to Mark Hamill. It's not perfect, but I think it's actually much better in person than I expected it was going to be. He even has the little mole on his face. The hair has a nice mixture of light and dark blonde colors to bring some depth and realism to the hair sculpt. Now, scale-wise, Luke here is one of the shorter and scrawnier figures in the lineup so far. He's a tad smaller than Maul, and quite a bit shorter than the Sand Trooper. But this very well could be accurate. After all, he is a little short for a Stormtrooper. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a closer look at Luke Skywalker here. We're going to go ahead and run down the articulation on this guy and check it out. So here we go, here's what we got. The head is on a really nice little ball joint there. It's got the ability to turn left and right. Also does have a nice hinge there, so it goes up and down. Great range of movement going on there. Very, very nice. You got the ball-like joints at the shoulders there, and they are the really nice ratchet joints. So you can see they kind of click. They're very tight. That way it'll be really great for posing and displaying. The arms can then move forwards and backwards, of course, move outwards. There is no bicep swivel, unfortunately. But you do have the swivel above the elbow there, so that works out pretty nice. Nice little ball jointed elbow there, so it swivels out, hinges forwards and backwards. You got the swivel at the wrist, as well as the hinge joint at the wrist. Now on the right here, the little hinge joint is actually allowing the hand to move up and down kind of this way. On the hand on the left, the hinge joint actually allows the hand to move up and down like this. That, of course, is going to be great for posing with the lightsaber, so that way you can get the hands in different poses there. We do have a little torso kind of cut there, which basically works as the waist swivel on this, but you can see it's kind of on a nice rocker there, rotates all the way around, rotates left, rotates right. The little cable that's hanging off of his vest there, it is nice and soft. It doesn't get in the way of that articulation whatsoever. Now, he does have this little harness that is hanging down. It's a loose-fitting piece. It's made of a softer plastic, but it does hang over the legs. It is going to hinder the articulation just a little bit, so let me show you what we got here. We do have the hinge-like joints at the thighs there, so the legs can split outwards, but this is where that little strap does kind of get in the way. You can see how it is going to kind of hinder the movement just a little bit, but he does sit down quite nicely, so if there was ever a chance that we'd get a large-scale X-Wing, probably not, but he would be able to sit inside of it just fine. We've got swivels at the thighs there, so you got good cuts at the thigh articulation. You've got double joints at the knees, so you get a great range of motion there. You got swivels at the boot cut. You got the standard joint at the ankles, which is also that nice ratchet joint, so it has that nice clicking going on there, and beautiful rocker joints at the feet. So all of this awesome articulation on this guy is really going to allow you to get some really great, really dynamic poses. Something that we have been able to do with Star Wars figures, but not really to this level before. So very, very nice articulation on this guy. I'm very happy with it. It's all nice and tight. It's going to be great for posing these guys around. Now, something else really fun about this guy, something really cool that I discovered while posing him around. The head is removable. It's just on a ball joint. You can see there, it's on the nice little hinge. Allows it to go forwards and backwards. So, does this mean we can swap heads? Does this mean that they're interchangeable and they can mix and match with other figures? Well, let me show you that. We'll go and bring Darth Maul over here, also from the same series. Also has a removable head. So yes, between Darth Maul and Luke Skywalker, the heads are swappable. So, kind of makes for some fun customization that you can do. You can kind of pop parts off and on different guys there. Very cool. And here's one that I really thought of right away. As soon as I realized that the heads could swap, I got real excited because I was like, oh, let's get this Sand Trooper, another figure from Series 1. Let's pop his head off. Let's put Luke's head on there so that we can get a Luke and Sand Trooper disguise or even a Luke and Stormtrooper disguise. And unfortunately, doesn't work. The Sand Trooper has a much larger ball joint on top than these standard human figures here, unfortunately. So you can see the different sizes there. So there is limitations with it. Unfortunately, we can't make a quick and dirty customization of Luke in a Stormtrooper disguise, but it is still rather neat that we can kind of swap the parts between some of these regular figures like that. Something that I wasn't really expecting.
The ability to swap heads between some of the figures is quite a bit of fun, and will allow for some really quick and easy customs. Now, Luke includes a really nice selection of accessories. First up is his trusty blaster. The blaster is made of a softer plastic, but it's not at all too gummy. It does feature a really nice paint job with a brown handle and even a silver tip. It's really nice to see Hasbro giving us some very nicely painted accessories for these new larger scale figures. Luke's right hand is sculpted with a trigger finger, and he holds the blaster nice and tight for some really great posing opportunities. Now, since Luke is in his X-Wing gear, he also includes his X-Wing pilot's helmet. The helmet features a really great paint job with Rebel insignias and a really nice wash to dirty it up. There's only one small imperfection on mine, as there's a small drop of white paint on the translucent yellow visor. But it's a very small flaw on an otherwise awesome looking accessory. The helmet fits perfectly on Luke's head, with the strap fitting right under his chin. It's really nice to see that the helmet looks very natural on his head, and it's not at all too bulky. And finally, he includes his blue lightsaber. The handle features a nice shiny silver paint job with all of the little details painted on. The handle's made of a bit of a softer plastic, even softer than the gun, but the translucent blue blade is much more rigid. That blade also has the ability to pull out of the handle for poses with the saber non-ignited, and there's even a small loop so you can hang it off of Luke's belt when not in use. It's incredibly fun pairing this lightsaber up with the articulation on this figure. You can get some really great poses both single-handed and two-handed. I think this might be the most fun I've ever had posing a Luke figure. Alright guys, it's comparison time. Here's a look at this new Luke Skywalker standing alongside one of his 3 3/4 inch counterparts. This will give you a good idea of the scale and style differences between the two figures. So there you go guys, there's a look at the Star Wars Black Series 6-inch scale Luke Skywalker from Series 1. Overall, I am quite thrilled with this figure. There are a few minor issues, yes, but in my opinion, they are very minor, because this figure pretty much sealed the deal for me that this new 6-inch scale is worth picking up. His articulation is a total blast, the sculpt and paint are very well done, and overall, he's just an incredibly fun action figure. I've been waiting forever to see 6-inch scale Star Wars figures become a reality, and this Luke figure here is pretty much a dream come true. I cannot wait to get more from this lineup. Star Wars Black Series 1 is hitting store shelves right now, so happy hunting, and until next time.